Okay, so now we're looking at finding the nth term for simple interest. Now, what this simply means, what the nth term means, is that we now have a different formula or process that we can use to find the value of the loan at any point in time, rather than putting it into our calculator and going enter, enter, enter to try and find the value of that loan at that point. There's some information that you can read there about simple interest to recap your memory. Pause the video if you need to do that. But what I'm going to look at now is this formula down here. So this formula can be used to calculate the value of the investment at any period of time, so at any point throughout the investment. So N, it tells us the number of years that the investment has been made for, or the number of periods the investment has been made for. Whereas D, as it usually is equal to the rate, so that might be 5%, like we've got in the example above, divided by 100 times the initial amount, which might be 2,000. Let's use the example we've got above to model this. So the rule is Vn equals V0 plus Nd. Alright, so Vn is equal to V0. Alright, so in our example above, it was 2,000. Alright. Plus Nd. Alrighty, so if we want to figure out D, what we need to do is use this here. Alright, and we have D equals the rate, which was 5%, over 100, times V0, which is 2,000. Put this in our calculator, we find that D is going to equal 100. So Vn, or our next term, is going to equal 2,000 plus N and then D 100. Now what we can do is we want to find the value of the loan after 10 years. We can go Vn equals 2,000 plus 10 times 100. Put that into our calculator, 3,000. And we know that after 10 years, the value of that investment is going to be $3,000. It's much quicker than putting it in our calculator and going enter, enter, enter 10 times. Okay, let's have a look at this example here. So use a rule to determine the value of a simple interest investment. So Amy invests $3,000 in a simple interest investment of paying interest at the rate of 6.5% per year. All right, we're given that information. What is the principal of the investment? So that's our V0. How much interest is added to the investment each year? All right, firstly, we know that our principal was 3,000. And to find interest, remember we need to use D equals R over 100 times V0. So let's work that out. The interest rate is 6.5%, as we were given in the question, divided by 100 times 3,000. We get $195. So this here is the amount of interest that is added to the investment each year. Now, B says write down the rule for the value of the investment after n years. All right, so you remember that our rule is Vn equals V0 plus Nd. All right, we know our values, so we can place them in. So therefore, Vn equals V0 is 3 plus N, and our difference was 195. So another typical example is one like part C. So use a rule to find the value of the investment after 15 years. All right, we found our rule, which using this, remember on our last one, we had V of N equals 3,000 plus N, and our difference was 195. All right. Using this, we sub 15 years into our value of N. So Vn equals 3,000 plus 15 times 195. And when we calculate that, you find that we get 3,000 plus 2,925. And we're left with a value of 5,925. All right. So the value of the investment after 15 years is here, $5,925. Part D says use a ruler to find when the value of the investment first exceeds $10,000. So we want to know when it first exceeds $10,000. Alright, so substitute 10,000 into the rule. Alright, now remember our rule here. So we've got VN, so that's going to be our value. That's what we want the value to be, equals 3,000. Alright, what we know. And we're trying to find N times 195. That's for D. Alright, so we've subbed 10,000 into our value of Vn. Now, step 2, we're going to use our calculator. Alright, so we're going to put in solve, our solve command, and 10,000, just what we've got above, equals 3,000 plus N times 195. We're trying to find N, so comma N. Alright, put that into our calculator, make sure you put the closed brackets, and you're going to receive 35.897 years. So the value of the investment will first exceed $10,000 after 36 years.